Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches us to accept what we cannot change and focus only on what lies within our control. Life will throw hardships our way, but the Stoic does not complain. Instead, they ask, what can I learn from this? Imagine standing in the midst of a storm, the winds howling, the rain relentless. The Stoic does not curse the weather but adjusts their sails. They understand that external events are beyond their power, but their response is entirely their own. This is where true freedom lies, not in controlling the world, but in mastering the self. The ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, faced immense suffering. Wars, exile, betrayal, yet they did not break. Why? Because they trained their minds to see obstacles as opportunities. A setback was not a defeat but a chance to practice virtue. In their writings, we find not despair but a quiet strength, a reminder that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Consider the dichotomy of control, the cornerstone of Stoic wisdom. Some things are up to us, our thoughts, actions, and choices. Most things are not, the past, the opinions of others, even our own bodies. The Stoic does not waste energy on what they cannot change. Instead, they pour all their effort into what they can, cultivating wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. A ship does not mourn the waves, it navigates them. Similarly, the Stoic does not lament misfortune but adapts. When faced with loss, they ask, what remains? When met with injustice, they ask, how can I act rightly? This is not passive resignation but active resilience. The world may be chaotic, but the Stoic remains steady, an anchor in the storm. Criticism, rejection, failure, these are the tests life gives us. The Stoic welcomes them. Why? Because comfort breeds weakness, while hardship forges strength. Each challenge is a teacher, each difficulty a lesson. The path to wisdom is not paved with ease but with perseverance. Death, too, is a Stoic teacher. It reminds us that time is limited, that procrastination is the thief of purpose. Memento mori, remember you must die. This is not a morbid fixation but a call to live fully, to act with intention. The Stoic does not fear the end but asks, am I using my time well? Anger is a temporary madness, the Stoics say. It clouds judgment and solves nothing. When wronged, the Stoic pauses. They reflect, does this harm me, or only my pride? They choose reason over reaction, understanding that the best revenge is not to become like the offender. Gratitude is another Stoic practice. Each day, they count their blessings, not their lacks. The food they eat, the air they breathe, the people they love, these are gifts, not entitlements. By appreciating what they have, they disarm envy and find contentment in simplicity. The Stoic knows that desire is endless. More money, more fame, more pleasure, it is a bottomless pit. True wealth is wanting less. By practicing voluntary discomfort, fasting, cold showers, humble living, they remind themselves that happiness does not depend on externals. Social media screams for attention, but the Stoic cultivates inner silence. They retreat into their own minds, reflecting on their actions, correcting their mistakes. Journaling is their tool, honesty their guide. They do not seek validation but self-improvement. In relationships, the Stoic gives without expectation. They love deeply but understand that others, like all things, are impermanent. If a friend betrays them, they grieve but do not hate. They focus on their own virtue, knowing that kindness is its own reward. Fear often paralyzes us, fear of failure, fear of judgment. The Stoic confronts it head-on. They ask, what is the worst that can happen? Then they prepare, not with anxiety, but with readiness. By imagining the worst, they strip it of its power. The modern world worships busyness, but the Stoic values stillness. They take time to meditate, to walk in nature, to breathe. They know that haste leads to mistakes, that clarity comes from slowing down. Success, to the Stoic, is not wealth or fame but integrity. Did they act with honor? Did they stay true to their principles? External rewards may come or go, but self-respect is eternal. When praised, the Stoic remains humble. When insulted, they remain unshaken. They know that both flattery and scorn are fleeting, that the only opinion that matters is their own self-assessment. The Stoic does not seek to be perfect but to make progress. Each day, they ask, am I better than yesterday? They fall, they rise, they keep moving. The path of virtue is long, but every step counts. At night, they review their day. What did they do well? Where did they falter? Without self-pity or pride, they learn and prepare for tomorrow. Sleep is not escape but renewal. And so, the Stoic lives, not free from pain, but free from unnecessary suffering. They embrace life as it is, not as they wish it to be. In philosophy, they find truth. In truth, they find peace. The sun sets, indifferent to our struggles, yet it will rise again. So too does the Stoic endure, unwavering, knowing that while they cannot control the world, they can always control themselves. And in that, there is power. There is freedom. there is life.